Hey there, welcome to Color Comics. I'm Aaron, and every year, Near Condition does the poll for the top most 20 most wanted Marvel Omnibus. And last year, I was a bit disappointed with the results. I voted on it this year, and I want to do my reaction on how it turns out. So, whew, I the thing is, his poll is very, very much he does a great job. If you're not subscribe to Near Condition, please do. Um, but his poll is very much the type that will tell you, okay, this is what's coming up the next year. He's very influential. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's dive into it. I have been waiting all day to do this, but I wanted to do this on here. And that's going to be the key part. So let's see how it goes. Let's put it up here. And I will put me right here so you can see like my reaction on this. Um, I guess the only thing left to do is to start the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We have now added the Buy Me Coffee to the channel, and really love if you guys would help out or be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, let's go.
It's Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today's the day. Today's the day that I get to talk about your top 20 most wanted Marvel Omnibus reprint 2024 edition. So let's go ahead and get started.
So I've got attached to the screen up there. So
another year, another poll closes, and another list of top 20 most wanted Marvel Omnibus reprints. Before I go any further, though, please don't forget to smash that like button. It's a very small thing you can do for us here on the channel, but it means the world to us. And a big thank you to James and Chris and Taylor and, of course, Luis, who started all this with his easier way of taking these polls. Big thank you to all of you for helping.
I'm really hoping that we're going to get some like horror omnibuses here. I really, really want the Marvel horror ones to come back. I want the Tomb of Draculas. Those are big ones for me. So last year they just went all in on Daredevil, even though there's a lot of stuff out there. And sometimes they vote for things that are going to be kind of evergreen anyway, which annoys the hell out of me. So I try to make sure that it's something doesn't have a good chance coming back unless we vote for it.
Do this particular poll this year, like social media, and then Luis and James approached me about doing it an easier way. For the people that always think that, the polls are always the same every year, as the guy that gets to see the polls, no, they're so different. I went ahead and sent the top 20 over to David already, so him and Marvel can decide what to reprint. And I probably will end up sending the top 25 just in case, like I did last year. It used to be just top 10 that I would send their way. And we just started getting them all. And I think 2 years ago, they reprinted 15 out of the 20. But let's take a look at how well we did last year together. So here on my right-hand side, or your left, is what the poll looked like, the results of the poll from 2023. So just looking at all of these right now, either they've come out already as reprints or I've already announced them as reprints, with the exception of number 7 there, which is Bishop's Crossing Executioner Song. That was the first time it was added to the poll last year. And it's an X-Men book, and that's what I always try to do, add an extra X-Men book that was never reprinted as an omnibus or never released as an omnibus. But in that case, kind of like the Extinction Agenda, the books were put together with Bishop's Crossing and Executioner's Song. So we'll see how well it did this time around. But 19 out of 20, and I think I sent up the top 23 last year. So it's more like 21 out of the 23. Not bad. Not bad. All right. I will be putting the full list, if you're curious about where your book ended on the list, on our Patreon. I've done that every year for the last few years. And the link to our Patreon is in the description of the video. Now, if you don't see your book that you voted for, I'm sorry, but there's always a chance that Marvel could reprint it. Just because it doesn't make it on the list doesn't mean that Marvel won't reprint something. We've seen it in the case last year of Captain America Omnibus, the Silver Age, volumes 1, 2, and 3, and the Jack Kirby Omnibus. All
kind of nervous, guys. I'm actually kind of nervous about this because this like helps when it comes to like my buying in the 24-25 year.
That wasn't books that you all. I know everybody's anxious and ready to go. But Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus 2, I did take it off the list because it's getting a restock in May. So if you go to cheapgraphicnovels.com right now, you can pre-order the restock. So make sure you pre-order.
He's really good with stuff like that.
Of a reprint. So it's only the standard edition cover. So keep 7. So it bumped this book up to the top 20. So we're going to start with.
So we're going to mute that there for a second.
Omnibus.
Yes. Okay. This is one I voted for.
Saturday stream was asking, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to vote. Please let me know how well Ecstatics did." And I was looking at the list, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
this one just made the list." And the fact that this is down so low really kind of bothers me because I'm worried that some stuff that I don't want to be out there is going to be up higher.
That's the 21st pick. But because Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus Volume is so good, big fan of this series. Now, don't expect things like X-Force because it is a continuation of X-Force, but Peter Milligan just does his own teen X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee Omnibus Volume 1.
This is one that's a bit of a waste. Here's the thing. It's Jim Lee and Chris Claremont. It would have eventually gotten a reprint anyway. People voting on the Claremont. I got the second volume. Claremont, which is the better volume, to be honest with you, because that actually has their run, their X-Men, adjective X-Men run, whereas this is more not. A lot of it is actually not Jim Lee. There's some like Sylvester and Will's Show, I think, in volume 1. It's good for a completionist, but it's not a whole ton of Lee that's in here, and it's not something that wouldn't have got a vote like a reprint anyway. Ecstatics is something that makes sense. This one, not so much.
Honestly, I didn't think that would make it, but you all voted for it. It was as well as the Extinction Secret. So it is the follow-up. It is a huge omnibus.
This is a massive one. This is one of the first omnibuses I bought when I started buying them. I went to my local comic shop, in Newfoundland, and I saw it there. It's huge. He's not lying. It's a massive tome. Normally I'd have it brought over because we're doing this, but I'm watching this with you guys. I have not watched this before. And this is a good pick. I got it. It's a good pick, and I think it's one that a lot of people should pick up, actually.
Series of, I think it was only 8 issues, more than just Secret War, Volume 2. I kind of figured that would make it in there.
Volume 2, I mean, yeah, it's been a while. I've got, I think, Volume 1, and Volume 2 is more like, if I'm correct, it's more the Thunderstrike stuff. So this is definitely one I will buy. Thor is one of those characters I didn't think I was going to collect, but as I started buying some Thor stuff from Jason Aaron Thor with what was it by Dan Jurgens? I can't remember which ones I got now, but it's I know I have the first volume of this, so this is actually a good one.
A lot of people have been asking for this particular book. Thor we see in our system is out of print, Heroes Return, even though it's available everywhere. So hopefully they'll just give us this one. Wolverine, Jason Aaron Omnibus. So that is the very first Wolverine, Jason Aaron Omnibus. and it's the one that leads into the Wolverine Goes to Hell omnibus, and that, of course, leads into the Wolverine.
I'm not sure how hard this one is to find now. I'm okay with this one because I'm a massive Jason Aaron fan. But looks, oh god,
by Charles Soule omnibus. Last year, Daredevil just dominated the reprint poll. It was so.
Let's hope that Daredevil doesn't dominate the reprint poll this year. It's like Daredevil is all in all a good character that has a lot of simply like really good runs, but most of them are very easy to find. Even ones that are quote unquote out of print. This Charles Soule one is one of those. So for me, this is a bit of a waste.
Daredevil, but there were a couple that didn't make it. So this time around, the Charles Soule to vote for it. Ask for Wolverine omnibus.
Wolverine, okay. This is both good and bad. It's bad in the way that this is the same character seen a second time. I don't want to see like a bunch of like Wolverine or a bunch of Daredevil, a bunch of Spider-Man. I want to see a mixture. And what worries me is that things get too generic when it comes to some of these choices that people pick.
One. Now that did make it in our top 25, demanding it to be reprinted because it's been out of print for a couple of years now. Number 13, Star Wars Legends, the old.
I'll never say yay to a Star Wars Legends book. I mean, it's the Dark Horse stuff. It's not bad. Also, this is really easy to find, whether it's an Omnibus or Epic format collection. The fact that people are picking Old Republic, like I could literally find this in Canada for like $49, $49 Canadian. So this is definitely not one of the ones that I would say is a good pick.
I read this stuff and it was amazing. But there's always a darkness there. But very astonishing X-Men.
So one of my better half will love to see reprinted. Not a bad one. Definitely a good one right here. Ecstatics / X-Men are two of the big omnibuses.
Now that's had 2 printings in the past.
But yeah, he's right.
The covers they've used in the past. But next one on the list, of course, is a countdown. Pretty sure you can tell now. Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2.
Another one that would have got a reprint anyway. So the first Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus that I ever bought. I don't think anybody ever needs to vote for an Amazing Spider-Man or a Wolverine, because you're going to get it. You're going to get it anyway. Don't waste your vote on something that's pretty much going to be an evergreen. Your Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 will get reprinted. So will 2. All the X-Men books, they'll get reprinted. When you're doing a poll, like, don't waste your time on ones like that. Look for stuff that's harder to get.
Very high on the list. Books do come out when I announce them for reprints. The books that are out of print for myself and Taylor kicked off this particular poll this year. We're going to do a live poll for the people that are interested in that. Next one on the list, Punisher Max by Garth Ennis Omnibus Volume 2. We are getting a Volume 1 reprint in 2024. We're getting the Jason Aaron Max reprint.
I think with the fact that we've been getting so many Punisher reprints recently, it's kind of expected. So good one, but up this high, no, shouldn't have been.
But every one of these surprised me for different reasons. So let's go with number 9. Annihilation Conquest.
Seriously.
Omnibus.
Seriously.
Annihilation Conquest Omnibus has had 2 printings. The first, he voted so high this year. This is one that
we like getting the
Omnibus. And the thing that surprises me about this one is that I'm surprised it wasn't voted 2 years ago when people were voting for War of the Kings. It was after Annihilation and had 2 different printings, or no, 3. So all those 3 make up the modern.
So the War of the Kings is it's a decent, but it's nothing that deserves to be taking up a 7th and 8th spot. 2 spots. It's insane.
Cosmic Saga was to a lot of the characters. He had 1 printing, so I'm glad to see them on the. Whenever I announced the Annihilation Conquest Omnibus,
like I always pick Aftermath over the Prelude.
Before these are officially reprinted, because I would hate for people to miss out on it. Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2 would have been here, but I was asked to remove it. is Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis Omnibus Volume 2.
Why?
And that one...
No, like Daredevil with Brian Michael with Bendis, it's an easy find. It should never be in a 6 spot of a reprint poll where you're trying to get stuff reprinted, which you should be trying to get stuff reprinted that you don't normally see, that you don't see. This is an easy find. Bendis is an easy find. Lark's an easy find. There's this stuff you can find pretty much anywhere. So let's hope that this is the only one like this we see from here on out.
The one that I found out about. And he was like, "Hey, you want to announce these?" I said yes. And my life has never been the same again. Man, it feels just like yesterday that conversation took place. All right, the top 5. Here we go. You all voted for these. Punisher by Rick Remender Omnibus. Very happy to see that. We've seen a reprint of the Garth Ennis Max. The Max 2 got voted on here. We've seen a reprint of the Jason Aaron that's coming out later this year. And we've had 2 printings of the Marvel Knights Garth Ennis Omnibus. But Punisher by Remender, which has an amazing story. I know it's hokey as hell. I don't care. Frankencastle with Tony Moore is freaking amazing. Ridiculous, but amazing nonetheless. But now that is coming in. Vote for one X-Men book that the X teams get together to fight against Magneto.
100% agree with this one. Fatal Attraction is a great one. It's more of
a. The next 2 did not see them coming. Honestly, I am super surprised because every year that I've done these sometimes don't make it. Last year, they weren't even in the top 30. So I'm very surprised that they're taking up slots 3 and 2. And for anybody that ever doubts these lists and that there's no love out there for Silver Age, it is my absolute pleasure to get to announce coming in at number 3, Tomb of Dracula Omnibus Volume 2, the most sought after probably Silver Age book out there. That is
this is what I want to see. I'm so excited. I voted for Tomb of Dracula Volume 2 actually. I voted for the first 2 volumes.
2, I think, are 2 of the biggest ones. So at number 2 is Tomb of Dracula Omnibus Volume 1.
Yes.
Voted higher than Tomb of Dracula Omnibus Volume 2. Damn, I am taken back. Those are ones I voted for.
You got Gene Colan's work there. You got some great. It is so good. Wolfman. It's just such an incredible omnibus, incredible run of like story and art. It's so well done. Introduction to Blade is in this here. The Van Helsing characters. I remember they had like the wheelchair with the shadow stakes. Just really cool stuff. So glad, so surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect this. So yeah.
But I always tell people to vote for what they want, and I'm really surprised that there's a lot of interest for these characters.
It's about time.
Books. Some awesome Gene Colan artwork in there, and Volume 1 has had 2 printings, but Volume 2 has only had 1, and Volume 3 has only had 1 printing. Long gone, and even in the aftermarket, they get ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very happy to see surprised where they ended up on the list. So, damn, good job, you all, for the people that wanted them. And, yeah, we did have to remove some fraud emails. Next time you vote with fraud emails, remember to at least try to get a little more creative than just using your name again, add something, or IP addresses, voting for the same thing. Oh, by the way, that's how many people voted, not just for this book. Coming in at number 1, X-Men's Bishop's Crossing Execution
Not
Song.
upset with this. I'm actually
saw what happened
when Execution Song I love.
Extinction Agenda, what Marvel's going to do.
So there we go. That's number 1, X-Men Bishop's Crossing, Executioner Song. Not sure if he's going to mention any of the older stuff here. Mentions Walk's Comic Shop, which is great if you live in the EU. It's the type of place that I'd be able to order from. So there we go. It is the 2024 Most Wanted Marvel Omnibus reprint edition poll. It's really good. I'm so excited. And Nirma Condition does amazing work, tirelessly, day in and day out. uh, and does not get the credit he deserves for this type of stuff. This is the most exciting like pull for me. Like I said before, I'm a massive fan. I would love to see the Marvel horror ones get there, but I'm going to guess they're much further down. But there's some. This is a good start. This means there's strong possibilities if 1 and 2 sell really well. And please buy if you're buying omnibus. If you're a horror fan and you've not picked up an omnibus, Tomb and Dracula is a great place to start. And I would love to see volume 3 and 4 get reprints as well. So let's get that done. Let's get volumes 3 and 4 reprint as well. Once this comes out, if they like they normally take the books and they'll like say, okay, well, we're reprinting that, pre-order it, like do a pre-order on it because that's the best way to get it at the cheapest price possible. Thank you so much for watching here. I'm super excited. I'm super stoked. A good one overall. A couple ones that I thought were almost a waste. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 was a waste because honestly, it would have got reprinted anyway. I was really good seeing the Rick Remender one there. The Tomb and Dracula shocked the hell out of me. I did not expect that. There's a few of those I didn't expect. The War of the Kings ones were Annihilation Conquest. Yeah. Like a lot of these event books are easy to find, and some of them are actually poorly mapped. I'm not sure. I don't have the War of the Kings or the Annihilation ones, so I'm not sure the mapping of those. I have Absolute Carnage. It was one of the first event books that I ever picked up, and the whole aspect of it being like just the way it was mapped was horribly done. It was just had the 6 like miniseries, the Absolute Carnage miniseries, then all the side stories that go in between that were after it. So I had to literally like go online and like see what the reading order was and read it like while looking at my phone at the reading order when I read the. It's a great omnibus. It's just it was poorly mapped. Hopefully, if one of these had a mapping that wasn't so great previously, they at least take the effort to go on and reprint with correct mapping. That would be something that I would be really really big on. To give you an idea when it comes to I'm going to bring it up here. The Tomb of Dracula Omnibus Volume 1 right now runs around $500, like online to like on Amazon, and that's the lowest price for it. I just went to an Amazon price here. I'll show you the. Let's see if I can bring up the cover here. So let's show you guys so you guys have an idea what it looks like. So you can see it right here. It's the cover for Tomb of Dracula Volume 2. This is, I think, not sure if this is the original cover or if it's the other one. And it looks like it has issues Tomb of Dracula from 32 to 70 and Giant Size Dracula number 5 and Doctor Strange number 14. While I'm here, I guess, we should start looking at Tomb of Dracula Volume 1. And we see it right here. Tomb of Dracula 1 to 31, Werewolf by Night number 15, Giant Size Chillers number 1, and Giant Size Dracula 2 to 4. Because I think Giant Size Dracula number 1 was just reprint stuff that was already in Tomb of Dracula. Again, 784 pages. Really, really well excited to see that done. The lowest price you can see that at the hardcover is $175, and really, really stoked on that one right there. Also, let's just see if I can find the other one that I was actually interested in. And that is this one right here. I got Punisher by Rick Remender. It's It's a really good one. One is Punisher 116, Anno number 1, Dark Reign, The List Punisher, Frankencastle 17 to 21. That's actually really fun. Dark Wolverine 88 and 89, and Punisher in the Blood, the 5-issue miniseries there as well. So a whole ton of stuff that's coming out through there. A lot of great stuff to look at. I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to get this uploaded and see your thoughts on this. Please check this out. If you want to support the channel, like, share, subscribe, let people know. Watch videos that have like other stuff in it than movies, because when you do, I truly appreciate it. And feel free to buy me coffee. But you can also check out our Patreon stuff where we have like extra videos, early access, podcasts. We started on a wrestling podcast. We're going to be starting on a movie podcast. There's a whole bunch of other things coming up. But for now, I will see you later, and have an absolutely amazing day, because I'm super stoked about this.